Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, March 2. Jamaica's maritime security capabilities have been enhanced with the acquisition of two maritime offshore surveillance vessels. Operated by the Jamaica Defense Forces Coast Guard, the HMJS Cornwall and Middlesex will carry out a number of border security activities, including anti-gun and drug smuggling interdiction, fisheries protection, as well as search and rescue missions. At Tuesday's commissioning ceremony, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the vessels will not only provide improved response capabilities, but also deter and interdict any illegal activity in Jamaica's maritime space.
Effective monitoring of the maritime domain must be in place. Ideally, detection must happen even before there is a threat to our waters, and the employment of these vessels, coupled with the introduction of new technology, will achieve good results. The addition of the Maritime Patrol aircraft in short order will also significantly enhance the unit's capability to detect and monitor any activity as required.
National Security Minister Robert Montego used Tuesday's commissioning ceremony to pledge government's commitment to addressing equipment challenges in the security forces.
We will continue to equip the Coast Guard, and we will give them the resources that is needed to effectively patrol and monitor our maritime space. Having these boats commissioned and into service will immediately improve the effectiveness of the JDF Coast Guard, who were able to interdict over $1.5 billion worth of cocaine and marijuana last year, despite not having them at their disposal. One can easily see the potential boost to our interdiction capabilities with the vessels now in service.
In other news, the National Housing Trust is close to providing Prime Minister Andrew Holness with a draft report of an institutional review of its operations. Mr. Holness gave the directive to the board of the NHT in 2016, asking members to look at the agency's mandate in delivering houses to Jamaicans. The Prime Minister reasoned that the NHT reserves in the past have been used in other areas other than housing and community development.
The directive to the board is to build house. If the NHT was building house, there would be no reserves to take. So use the reserve to build house. That is why at every groundbreaking, I am going to be there to make the point that we are using the NHT resources to build house.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness was speaking at Tuesday's groundbreaking for the build-out of 37 service lots at Mary's Field in Kingston Town, St. Catherine. Infrastructure works on the 11.3-acre National Housing Trust development will be completed later this year. The Prime Minister, meanwhile, says the NHT will be building 4,000 starter units across the island by year's end. A total of 1,062 housing solutions will be delivered in St. Catherine between 2017 and 2018. So far, 253 are being developed by the NHT at Eltham Farm and Hellshire in Portmore. Street-side vendors and other interested food professionals are to be certified to provide gastronomic meals to tourists. This initiative is to fall under the Ministry of Tourism's Pond de Connor project. Portfolio Minister Edmund Bartlett says the culinary training aims to increase the number of chefs and cooks who can establish food businesses as part of the Tourism Food Shop program that is soon to be rolled out. The first tourism food shop is to be established in Olympic Way, St. Andrew.
In the communities, we want to build out what we call food shops. Food shops are locations where in Europe you go and they have what is called tapas. So that each little shop sells a different type of delicacy. So each one is doing a different thing, and nobody buys a full dish of anyone.
Mr. Bartlett was speaking yesterday at the closing ceremony honoring 21 participants in the Culinary Skills Training Program for persons in the Olympic Way community. And Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid, who was also at the function, says government will be increasing its efforts to ensure that a greater percentage of Jamaica's workforce is trained and certified to meet world standards. Minister Reid says government will be changing current statistics, which show that only 15% of the workforce has tertiary level training, 18% technical education, and 67% having no education or certification.
We have now created not only the national qualification framework, but the occupational degree framework, Minister, which of course TBD Co and all your hotel schools are going to be tying into. Because what we want is to have a seamless education and training system aligned to industry that pulls everyone, every youth to the highest level of education, training, and certification.
The Culinary Skills Program is one aspect of the Olympic Way Hip Strip project, which is being implemented by the Tourism Development Product Company. The graduates are now certified by Heart Trust NTA to operate as managers and chefs for specific areas of fine cuisine. And finally, local entrepreneurs are set to benefit from business law training under a new partnership between the Jamaica Business Development Corporation and Street Law Caribbean. The partnership between the entities will see the implementation of capacity building and related activities geared towards entrepreneurs for a deeper understanding of law and its implications. An official signing signaling the commencement of the agreement was held recently.
For us, it's important to really narrow and eliminate the gaps that exist, and this certainly was a big one, because whatever you do in business comes back to relationships that have some legal reference. So whether you are working with your suppliers, your buyers, whomever, there's always some contract.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.